हरि बोल गौरांग प्रभु हरि 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 हरि
Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya, Radha Ramana Goparaj is the direct disciple of His Holiness Maharaj, and he's been serving this community for many, many years. So let us welcome him by chanting one time loudly Hare Krishna Mahamantra. By raising your hand. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So I saw in our website that Goparaj is going to speak about different incarnations. So today the first incarnation is speaking about Matsya Avatar. You see there's a beautiful picture on your right. On the top there's a beautiful picture of 10 different incarnations of Krishna. So he's going to speak the first incarnation, which is known as Matsya Avatar. The fish avatar came, he protected all the Vedic literatures. So we heard from Goparaj Prabhu. And after the class is over, We're going to have more programs. We will have more kirtan. We'll have Sunday sponsor. We're going to have a Sunday sponsor. If somebody wants to sponsor Sunday, you can come and see me. And
Prabhu parantikam. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. When will Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, who has established within this material world the mission to fulfill the desire of Lord Chaitanya, give me shelter under his lotus feet. Vandeham Sri Guru Sita Parakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavam Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Pitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvahutam Pariyana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakam Vitam Stra. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my spiritual master and unto the feet of all Vaishnavas. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of Srila Rupa Goswami, along with his elder brother Sanatana Goswami, as well as Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Gopal Bhatta Goswami, and Srila Jiva Goswami. I offer my respectful obeisances to Lord Krishna Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, along with Advaita Acharya. I'm not crying, my throat is getting dry. Along with Advaita Acharya, Gadadhar, Srivas, and other associates. I offer my respectful obeisances to Srimati Radharani and Sri Krishna, along with their associates, Sri Lalita and Vishaka. Hey Krishna Karana Sindho, Dina Bandho Jagatpate, Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Vanos today. Oh my dear Krishna, you are the friend of the distress and the source of creation. You are the master of the gopis and the lover of Radharani. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi, Radhe Vrindavanashwari, Vrishabhanu Suti Devi, Pranamami Hari Priye. I offer my respects to Radharani, whose bodily complexion is like molten gold, and who is the queen of Vrindavan. You are the daughter of King Vrishabhanu, and you are very dear to Lord Krishna. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha, Kripasindubhya evacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances to all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They can fulfill the desire of everyone, just like desire trees, and they are full of compassion for the fallen souls. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Garadhara Sri Vasari Gaura Bhakta-vrinda. I offer my obeisances to Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Srivas, and all the others in line of devotion. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Tat Sat. Because we're going into Srimad Bhagavatam, two other prayers here, three actually, we're going to read to get the mercy of Sri Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. O my Lord Sri Krishna, son of Vasudeva, O all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Narayanam namaskritya, naram kaiva narottamam, daivim sarasvati vyasam tato jayamudirajet. Before reciting this Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Narayan, and unto Narayan, Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nastra prayashu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya Bhagavad Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. By regular attendance in classes on Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. And loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. These two verses, Srila Prabhupada used to often chant in the beginning, and it became a pattern for practically all temples to follow suit. So in the morning Bhagavatam or any Bhagavatam class, these verses were recited, still recited. And as you can see, they're very powerful because they actually are giving us blessings. This last verse, 1 to 18, you see it says the English translation is by regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam. Initially, Srila Prabhupada had written, and they put it in the first printing, by attendance of classes on the Bhagavatam. But he changed the printing, and he added this by regular attendance. So there's a difference. By attending, maybe I go once a year. Today is Easter. We can go to the temple once a year, you know. Of course, you'll get some benefit. But by regular attendance, basically means regular. What do we do regular every day? Who can name one thing you do regular every day? Chant. Wow. Haribo. Yes. Reading? She's so soft I can't hear.
She said doing the laundry.
Jai. I can name one. Eating. We all just, you know, we have to eat to survive, and we survive to eat sometimes. That's an old French slogan. That is not the purpose of eating, not for the Vaishnavas. We take prasadam to honor Krishna's mercy. It's a thing that we gradually learn to do. In the beginning, prasadam is so good, we just like to eat it. Can anyone deny that? Prasadam. Anyway, but back to this main point, by regular attendance. So it's something we should develop to do daily if possible. So get some little Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita in there, and it will help us in our daily lives. So now we're going to go into the main subject matter here. Let me lower this. Too quick with the fingers. We're going to do a little presentation that will simultaneously help us in following along the Shastra. I want to get this full screen. Here we go. Sometimes technology doesn't cooperate with what you want. Sorry about that. So as was announced, today's topic is about the Matsya incarnation. How many devotees, friends, guests, anybody feel familiar with Matsya? Or at least have heard the name? How many have heard this pastime? We have some. Great. Incarnation of Lord Vishnu in his fish form. To begin with, let me clarify that we're not talking mythology here. Mythology is something you can read maybe in storybooks, sometimes even in history books. We're not dealing with mythology, something that is just fictional. So Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Vyasadeva makes that clear from the very first couple verses, that he's not dealing with fiction, and he's aimed at one thing, presenting the absolute truth. That's a heavy subject, because you'll get challenges from everywhere. What is the absolute truth? What do you mean by the absolute truth? So this is where we're coming from when we hear about these avatars. So just as a reference point, we need to know what is an avatar. One who descends. Quite simple. One of the Supreme Person's many incarnations or expansions who periodically visit the material world. So I'm sure you've heard of Das Avatar, this avatar, that avatar. There are many. Actually, there are unlimited amounts of avatars. In other words, incarnations of Krishna for specific purposes sometimes. And so this is the case with Matsya. I would like to just chant this verse because it summarizes what has happened thus far in the first canto, 3rd chapter, where Srila Vyasadeva lists, I believe there's at least 21 different incarnations he names. But towards the end of the chapter, we find this verse. Ete chamsa kala punsha krishnastu bhagavan swayam indarani yakulam kulakam ridayanti yuge yuge. Of all the above mentioned incarnations are either plenary portions or portions of the plenary portions of the Lord. But Lord Sri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. All of them appear on planets whenever there is a disturbance created by the atheists. The Lord incarnates to protect the theists. So that's the basic understanding of these different incarnations. The Lord is doing it simply for our benefit. Not only here on this planet Earth, but throughout the entire cosmos, unlimited universes. So we can hear that, but we can't really fathom it. Because on a day-to-day basis, we live on planet Earth, we're here, we're in a body, and that body does certain things. So most of us don't think cosmically, like what's happening. But some people, sometimes they do wonder what's happening. How is this universe functioning? How did these things come about? And so our people that are, I guess you would say, scientifically inclined, they try to explore these avenues. And they do it from the ground up. In other words, they take a particular thing and examine it, rather than descending, where knowledge is handed to them and they know. In other words, if I have never seen this laptop and someone gave it to me along with the manual, pretty simple, you know how to use it. But if somebody just out of the clear blue gave this to someone who's never seen it, has no idea what it does, and you start to explore, and finally you hit one button and something lights up. So little by little you can find out. But to really know what this is, if you get a manual with it and directions on how to use it, that's very helpful. So they don't have to speculate. So Srimad Bhagavatam, in one sense, is the manual for humanity on the planet Earth. It's a manual. Of course, it's much more than that. But we don't take the approach of the scientific community or the speculative community. For instance, right now it's a very prominent thing that these particle colliders are very prominent around the globe. Scientists are they've narrowed it down to where they can isolate supposedly one particle and then send that particle faster than the speed of light to see what happens when it collides into something. Isn't that very interesting? Particle colliders. It's very interesting. But ultimately, what can it do? Okay, I will admit, maybe they've learned to use radio waves to kind of do something against diseases. You can use radio waves to help against diseases. So that's how they justify spending millions and millions in building these huge round particle accelerators where they can send a little thing that we can't even see at speeds faster than light and have them explode. If you research or look into any of this even on the internet, there's quite a bit on this. But if you happen to come in contact with it personally, I don't recommend this, because you would immediately be frozen. Even if you had your face in the accelerator to look at it, immediately you'd be frozen and explode. Does that sound pleasant? No. Does that sound pleasant? No. I don't think anybody wants to explode. Yet this type of research people prefer because they think it's advanced. It's not advanced, it's just something that happens this segment of the Kali Yuga. This first verse is from, again, the first canto, and it's indicating something about our subject matter. Rupam sajagre matsyam chakshusho dahi samplave navya ropya mahimayam apadvaishwatam manum. When there was a complete inundation after the period of Chakshusha Manu, and the whole world was deep within water, the Lord accepted the form of a fish and protected Vaivashvata Manu, keeping him up on a boat. So I'm going to read part of Srila Prabhupada's introduction. It's like a summary study of the 8th canto, where we find more information on Lord Matsya. First, I'm going to read this purport. This is from chapter 24 of the 8th canto, and the summary. Just as a matter of reference, I always suggest to everyone that you always read Srila Prabhupada's summary studies. They're like little books of the whole chapter. They're very unique, and he spent lots of time doing this. So even if you've never read the subject matter before, the way he introduces it, you get quite a benefit from that. The Supreme Personality of Godhead expands himself by Shwamsa, his personal expansions, and by Bibhinamsha, his expansions as the living entities. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 4:8, Paritranaya Sudunam Vinasaya Chaduskritam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead appears on this planet for the protection of the sadhus, or devotees, and for the destruction of the miscreants, or non-devotees. He especially descends to give protection to the cows, brahmanas, the demigods, the devotees, and the Vedic system of religion. Skipping down, getting into the heart of our subject matter. To receive the favor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, King Satyavatra engaged in the austerity of subsisting only by drinking water. Again, this is not Kali Yuga activity. We can't do this. You can go for a few days maybe if you try it, but you can't subsist for long periods of time just taking water. Once while performing this austerity on the bank of the Kritamala River and offering oblations of water with the palm of his hand, he found a small fish. The fish appealed to the king for protection, asking the king to keep him in a safe place. Although the king did not know that the small fish was the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, as a king, he gave shelter to the fish and kept him in a water jug. The fish, being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, wanted to show his potency to King Satyavrata, and thus he immediately expanded his body in such a way that he could no longer be kept in the jug of water. The king then put the fish in a big well, but the well was also too small. The king put the fish in a lake, but the lake was also unsuitable. Finally, the king put the fish in the sea. But even the sea could not accommodate him. Thus the king understood that the fish was no one else but the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he requested the Lord to describe his incarnation as a fish. The Personality of Godhead, being pleased with the king, informed him that within a week there would be an inundation throughout the universe, and that the fish incarnation would protect the king, along with the rishis, herbs, seeds, and other living entities in a boat, which would be attached to the fish's horn. After saying this, the Lord disappeared. King Satyavrata offered respectful obeisances to the Supreme Lord and continued to meditate upon him. In due course of time, annihilation took place, and the king saw a boat coming near. After getting aboard with learned brahmanas and saintly persons, he offered prayers to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, and thus he taught Maharaj Satyavrata and the saintly persons about Vedic knowledge from the core of the heart. King Satyavrata took his next birth as Vaivasvata Manu, who is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. Vaivasvan Manave Partha. The sun god spoke the science of Bhagavad Gita to his son Manu. Because of being the son of Vivasvan, this Manu is known as Vaivasvata Manu. So this is the reference, the background of what we're looking into. This is from the second canto, 7th chapter, text number 12. Matsya Yuganta Samaye Manu Palabdha Shonimayo Nikila Jiva Nikaya Keta Grishram Sitam Urbaye Salile Bukam Kan Me Adaya Vatra Vijahara Veda Markan. At the end of the millennium, the would-be Vaivasvata Manu of the name Satyavrata would see that the Lord in the fish incarnation is the shelter of all kinds of living entities, up to those in the earthly planets. Because of my fear of the vast water at the end of the millennium, the Vedas come out of my, meaning Brahma's, mouth, and the Lord enjoys those vast waters and protects the Vedas. 2:24:10. Tatra Raja Risikas Chin Namna Satyavratro Mahan Narayana Paro Tapat Tapasa Salilasyana. During the Chakshusha Manvantar, there was a great king named Satyavatra, who was a great devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Satyavatra performed austerities by subsisting only on water. This is what we were referencing. In this present millennium, King Satyavatra later became the son of Vivaswan, the king of the sun planet, and was known as Shraddhadev. By the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he was given the post of Manu. Now to the 8th canto. Tam Mahashati Karunam Mahakarunikam Nripam Yadobhyo Nyati Gatibhyo Dinamam Dinavatsala Katam Vrishcha Serajam Vitam Ashnisrad Sarijale. When an appealing voice, the poor small fish, said to King Satyavatra, who was very merciful, "My dear king, protector of the poor, why are you throwing me in the water of the river, where there are other aquatics who can kill me? I'm very much afraid of them." So, in our Kali Yuga situation, of course this is going to sound more like a story, because we don't encounter animals that can communicate with human beings for the most part. Of course, if you look into it, some people will claim that they can talk with certain animals, be that as it may. But we see the Lord started out practically as like a little goldfish. And as the king was taking his daily water, he happened to scoop up this little goldfish, not by accident, because Krishna doesn't do anything by accident. Everything serves a purpose. When he comes into the material realm, he serves so many purposes. When he's simultaneously in the spiritual realm, he serves so many purposes. He is the sum total of everything. There's nothing outside of him. There's nothing that he doesn't know. This is the meaning of the Supreme Being. We are tiny, minute particles of that Supreme. And due to our association with material matter, we've tried to imitate Krishna. We can't. We can't know everything. Unless I'm fortunate to be in a room where somebody does know everything. Kindly raise your hand if you know everything. I have a few questions. No, I'm jesting. So nobody as a human being, as a tiny jiva, can know everything. But because we have the reflected qualities in the material world of Krishna, of his qualities, then we have this tendency to try to lord it over the material nature. Srila Prabhupada often used that term. But what are we saying, lord it over? To be in control of. What is a lord? Like Lord King Jellyfish. Lord King Jellyfish was a very powerful soul, right? He lorded it over his whole kingdom. That's what it means to rule, to control everything, to lord it over. And you can use that terminology in many situations. In businesses, we see everyone wants to have the best business. That's why sometimes it comes to what the state we call a monopoly, where somebody controls so much interest that practically nobody else can get their foot in the door. That's a monopoly. That's a lot of business. I won't mention Microsoft, because somebody might think that that's a monopoly. I don't too many smiles. We must have a lot of Microsoft. I'm just joking. I'm saying this, I hope they don't come to sue me. But at one point it was well known that Microsoft controls so much of the software that nobody else could make anything. Now it's a little bit different. They try to regulate it. Doesn't mean whether you are here in America or in London or in Paris. Big control, that's a monopoly. So to lord it over, that's what we're talking about. Of course, it could be applied to any other situation. The situation of the household life. The husband wants to lord it over the wife. The wife wants to lord over the husband. This happens. I'm not indicating that this is what devotees do. Devotees don't do that, I know. But in the material world, you see it all the time. That's why in America right now, the divorce rate is a little bit around 60% of new marriages. The next year, 3 years, kaput, meaning finished, gone. Because one was thinking, I'm the Lord here, and the other was thinking, no, I'm the Lord here. So when we get two lords head to head, it gets hot. And when it gets hot, something has to give. So, again, to lord it over anything in this material nature, we're going to have a problem. There are 6 opulences that we know that everyone tries to acquire. Beauty, fame, wealth, power, renunciation. So if you pick any one of those and you try to, quote, lord it over, you can't. You can't control all the wealth. You can't, even if you're president of the United States, what about the rest of the planet? There's no one authority on the planet right now. This is not the age of King Yudhisthira and the Pandavas. So anywhere you go, you're subject to new laws and regulations. Or if you pick fame, everybody in the Western world is looking to be a great movie star, or the next rock star hit, or some way to get fame. They're all looking for that. But you can't be the biggest. You can't dominate all of it. So trying to lord it over the material world is useless. Sarve lilavataraste bhutanam buddhihetava gyantum icham yado rupam yad artam bhavata dhritam. All your pastimes and incarnations certainly appear for the welfare of all living entities. Therefore, my Lord, I wish to know the purpose for which you have assumed this form of a fish. So, Satyavatra is inquiring why did Lord Vishnu do this? Because he was already a devotee and he wanted to know. So from our summary study, if you remember, what did Krishna answer? That within, who remembers? Uh-oh, we're going to have some F's in this class. What did Krishna say? Within 1
week.
Here it's Jai. Who said that? Okay. A plus. Catch up. Yes, very nice. Krishna told him within 1 week the whole universe is going to be inundated. So right now we're worried about, the atmosphere. What's going to happen? There's so much pollution. When the times come, everything is going to be lost. Doesn't matter if you polluted the air. Of course, you shouldn't deliberately try to pollute the air. We should try. I'm not advocating that we, try to use as much diesel fuel as possible. That's not the idea. The idea is that you should monitor all these things. But regardless, you can't perfectly control the atmosphere and everything is going to be safe for the next generation and the next generation. No. And forget one important thing, and that is everybody has got to meet Kala. Who is Kala? Death. Death personified. And that's Krishna. But don't be afraid. That word sounds ugly, at least in English. Death. He's dead. she's dead. What do you mean by death? Simply like today I got on, a dhoti and a kurta, etc., etc. Tomorrow, probably have on a pair of blue jeans and an old shirt. Just changed. If you look at me, then I'm the same. Of course, if you come to the house, you might catch me without my T-lock. That's a no-no. But anyway, what I'm getting at is that's the same. So death is simply changing from this dress to another dress. So the devotees are not afraid. They don't fear. It says in the Bhagavatam, death is standing there with his head bowed down so the devotees can cross over into the transcendental region, the Viraja. Because Krishna is protecting them. So even though here we see there's going to be a massive destruction. At the end of all the different ages, there's a wrapping up, or quote, destruction of the material universes. That's why all these incarnations appear. Not all of you can see, but up here we see some of the main incarnations. At the very top left corner we see Matsya, the fish incarnation. But all these incarnations appear throughout different millenniums. Krishna comes. And as we read in the summary, he's coming to protect the devotees, really. And do away with the miscreants. Many types of miscreants. From those who are just agnostic, those who really don't care about anything, and those who are adamantly opposed. Like some atheists are ready to take out their sword and fight you if you even mention God. But they don't believe in God. They don't believe. Of course, Srila Prabhupada enlightened us what it even means to believe. Because today you can believe to be Catholic, Protestant, Jewish, Hindu, and tomorrow you can choose to be Buddhist or something else. That's your belief. In other words, a belief is something that can change. Today you can say, I'm an atheist, I don't believe in God. But something radical could change that. So what's the use of a belief? Beliefs are actually useless in that when you use it as your main criteria, as your main philosophical reference. Just, I'm an atheist, I don't believe in God, that's it. But Krishna says, for those miscreants, he comes in the form of Kala, time. And what can anyone do against time? So if we have 25 years in this body, 125, who knows? But after that time period, then you go, next body. That's simple. So the miscreants, the atheists, they're going to have a problem. They might not even be acquiring a human body in the next birth. And that becomes difficult, because then you have to spend your time roaming through the animal kingdom. So animals are very nice, each one in their own little form, but who wants to go through it? I remember some years back, most of you won't remember, but during the so-called hippie radical era, it was very popular to say, yes, I want to reincarnate. I want to become a robin. One young girl said, I would like to be a butterfly. This is their understanding of reincarnation. What happens? Robin eats butterfly. Boom, all over. Life is over. So you think it's cute to flutter around as a little butterfly, or you think it's nice to fly as a bird. Flying in the sky is so wonderful. But what are all animals doing? Eating, sleeping, mating, defending. The birds are looking for the worms. The hawks are looking for the birds. The hunters are looking for the hawks. you name it. The gazelles are trying to outrun the lions. The elephants are stomping on the hippos or anybody else that gets in their way. It's all a very rough situation. Therefore, the English terminology, dog eat dog, is very prominent in that kind of situation. Because you have to take care of yourself. You have to be rough and tough. But back to the same central theme, it doesn't matter. You could be the toughest. And what happens at the end of your time period? Out of that body. So the nice little butterfly, the bird, the caterpillar, the hawk, the hunter, you name it. The hog, the horse, the cow, all these animals have to leave. So we have to understand why Krishna is coming. This is what the avatars are meant. Natera vindaksha padoparshapanam mrisha bhavet saravasurit priyatmanam yatte tarisham pritag atmanam satam adidrisho yad vapur abhutam ina. O my Lord, possessing eyes like the petals of a lotus, the worship of the demigods who are in the bodily concept of life is fruitless in all respects. But because you are the supreme friend and the dearmost super soul of everyone, worship of your lotus feet is never useless. You have therefore manifested your form as a fish. So the king is well aware whom we should actually worship. Sometimes people misunderstand and they pick one particular demigod because they can get some very nice benefits from worshiping that demigod. But the devotees understand that ultimately, regardless of your status in the material world, you can be a king on this planet, or you can be on the higher planets, many higher planetary systems, and you can have a nice status, even in the heavenly regions, Indraloka. The beings there are amazing. We couldn't fathom. They don't even, at now this age, they don't even visit. They don't come near this planet. Because everything here is polluted in the Kali Yuga. But those demigods, those beings on those higher planets have amazing bodies. They don't have to worry about getting wrinkles. They don't have to spend hundreds of dollars in cosmetics, which is one of the biggest industries on this planet. Cosmetics, perfumes, oils, lotions, creams, so many things to make you beautiful. I use them all. That's why I come out this way. I'm so beautiful, right? I see most of you disagree with that. Anyway, yeah, it's a big industry, but why do people do that? Because they want to look nice, smell nice, and be nice in appearance. So in the higher planets, you would say it's a given situation. They don't get wrinkles. They don't get old looking. They age. Indraloka, if I'm not mistaken, it's like right now it's 60,000 years is their lifespan on Indraloka. And they don't have to worry about getting old and decrepit. They enjoy life to the fullest. Quite often they even forget about Krishna. And that's the main problem. Sometimes even Indra, who's the predominating deity, or we would say here, he's the president. He's the Joe Biden of Indraloka. He managed the whole situation. But sometimes even he forgets. And if you've read the 10th canto, the Krishna book, you see many of these pastimes where this is illustrated. even these high demigods sometimes just forget who Krishna is. And they're really thinking, I am the controller. So meditate on that. Right now, if you had the opportunity to meet Mr. Biden, he would say, I am the president. He's managing the whole thing. Or Mr. Putin, whoever you approach, they're thinking, I am this body, I'm Mr. Putin, and I'm managing the Soviet situation. So this is an illusion. It's unfortunate. Or if we narrow it down and come back to reality, and you say, Goparaj, where do you live? I live on Chetworth. That's my house, I'm managing it. And then you come to Naganari, my wife. You say, no, he isn't. I'm managing this house. I'm controlling. I'm just using a personal example. But again, back to the situation, none of us are in control. And so this is why King Satyavatra is mentioning this fact, that even to worship the demigods is not the highest thing. What really must be done is worshiping the Lord's lotus feet. Text number 50. Achakshur andasya yata grani kritas tata janasya vidusho buddho guru tvam arka drik sarvadrisham samikshano vrito gururna swagatim bubushkatam. As a blind man, being unable to see, accepts another blind man as his leader, people who do not know the goal of life accept someone as guru, who is a rascal and a fool. But we are interested in self-realization. Therefore, we accept you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as our spiritual master. For you are able to see in all directions and are omniscient like the sun. A magnificent lesson here. The blind leading the blind. An excellent lesson for devotees. Not to get hung up in politics. I'm going to vote Republican. I'm going to vote Democrat. I'm going to vote Liberal. All of this is useless. It seems important. Of course, if you have some civic duties, Srila Prabhupada said you should do it. So if you have to vote, some people live in a country where they have to vote. In America, you don't even have to vote. You can just ignore the whole thing. I'm not recommending anything. We're talking general. But in some places, you have to vote. Some places, you have to do certain things civically, politically. So you do that. But you don't get caught up in it. In America, you can do whatever you want to do, but there's no need to advertise it. There's no need to beat your friend. Prabhu, you're voting for the wrong person. You're crazy. Who cares? Either a Democrat or a Republican is going to win anyway. So don't get caught up in that. The blind leading the blind. They're not our real leaders. We want a leader as brilliant as the sun. So this is Guru Maharaj. Book to speak, this is Krishna. Satyavratasya Rajasher Maya Matsya Srangina Savaram Mahad Akyanam Sutva Mucheta Klibisha. This story concerning the great King Satyavatra and the fish incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu is a great transcendental narration. Anyone who hears it is delivered from the reactions of sinful life. Haribol! Did you get that? Did you hear? Yes, you did. Let me finish up, please. I'm sorry. Antaram hariryo yam kritadye anvaham nara sankalpastasya siddhyanti sayati paramam gatim. One who narrates this description of the Matsya incarnation and King Satyavatra will certainly have all his ambitions fulfilled and he will undoubtedly return home back to Godhead. So this is in the Bhagavatam. You all have Bhagavatams at home. Read it to each other, and you will undoubtedly what? Yes. Finally. Pralaya pasyasi dhatu supta shaktir mukebhya Shruti-ganam apanitam prayupadata hatva tijam akatayad yo brahma satyavratanam tamaham akilahetun jiham minam natosmi. I offer my respectful obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who pretended to be a gigantic fish, who restored the Vedic literature to Lord Brahma when Lord Brahma awakened from sleep, and who explained the essence of Vedic literature to King Satyavrata, the great saintly persons, and the great saintly persons. So this is a basic narration. We know a little bit now about Lord Matsya and his great devotee Satyavrata, and we can understand that this Srimad Bhagavatam will enlighten us if we allow it. Just like if you're in your house and you have the blinds and the dark curtains, it's up to you to open up and let the sun shine in. The sun is there for everyone. Srimad Bhagavatam is for everyone. You just simply have to open up the curtains. Take it. Srila Prabhupada ki. Yeah. Any questions? I think everyone is in total agreement here. They've heard about Matsya. Yes, Prabhu.
I just have a question based on, one of the Lord over the material nature, and you give the example of family, wife and husband, and different examples. But what is it like, if you follow in Shastra, it's given in detail that, a wife should follow her husband, and she should see him as the good. So how do we understand that, he's not trying to lord over, and he's just trying to actually follow Shastra? How can we tell the difference?
So the question, correct me if I'm wrong, how should we see that the wife follows the husband as guru? How do we understand that? How do we see that?
Yeah, and it's not being like we're trying to lord over or something. Or we're not trying to lord over everyone.
In traditional eras, lifetimes ago, this was the standard procedure. And the wife was certainly loyal and following the husband because the husband was providing everything and giving spiritual insight. That's the key. We're not talking about material domination. So in that sense, the Bhagavatam is explaining how the wife would follow the husband. But simultaneously, we have to understand also how the husband will follow the wife. It's a two-way street. If one is thinking in terms of the blanket explanation of those words, I am guru, I am the controller, you listen to me, friction. There'll be friction. But if you actually understand what the Shastra is saying, then there's compatibility and there's no disagreement. Because the husband is already, his aim is to please Krishna. And the aim of the wife is to please Krishna. Both of them working together please Krishna. When this is not the center, that's the problem. So when everything is centered around Krishna, family life, single life, any type of life, if it's centered around me becoming domineering, me becoming the most powerful, me gaining the most wealth, that will bring us the problems. Any other question? Srila Prabhupada Jagat Guru ki. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. So let's give a round of applause for Goparaj Prabhu. We have our Sunday sponsor, Savita. And Tripathi, Mr. Tripathi, please come forward. Come. Savita. Okay. So Savita and Mr. Tripathi, they sponsored Sunday feast for Jayati Tripathi. Actually, she's not in good health, and so the families, they want to pray for her. Can we pray for her by raising our hand one time? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. They are very humble. They want to show that they have done something, but they want to see that all the devotees are fed, and they want us to pray for the mother who's having ill health I think she's in the hospital, or she's in the hospital. So we are praying for her, and let's see if she gets better and she can come to the temple and see the deities again. So Savita and Tripathi, they are very good devotees. They've been coming to the temple. They're from actually Orissa. They're coming to the temple for many years. They like Ratha Yatra, Jagannath Ratha Yatra. They help every year for the Ratha Yatra also. So thank you again for the service. So we have a couple of announcements. April 5th, Friday, is Papa Mochani Ekadashi. Papa Mochani Ekadashi means if you follow that Ekadashi, you will get free from all the sin. So Prabhupada writes in a purport that we have committed some sin, that's why we're here. Others would be in the spiritual world. So it's very nice to follow Papa Mochani Ekadashi. Generally we request devotees to fast from grains and beans. And also we'll have a very beautiful kirtan in the evening. From 6 to 8 we'll have a very beautiful kirtan. Devotees can come and take part in kirtan. And 8 o'clock there will be a nice Ekadashi feast for everyone. Please come and join us. And then next day is the 6th of April. And the first Saturday of the first month, that Saturday is dedicated to our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki? So on that day, we will have a special program for Srila Prabhupada. You all can come, offer Guru Puja to Prabhupada. You can hear direct lecture from Srila Prabhupada. And then there will be also, devotees can share whatever you heard from Prabhupada. This is a very nice way to accommodate Srila Prabhupada with the devotees within our congregation, so that we know Prabhupada better, and we have a great respect for our founder Acharya. And according to our governing body commission, Iskcon, they have made a resolution that the Prabhupada is the primary Shiksha Guru for everyone who is connected with Iskcon. Everyone. Primary Shiksha Guru for everyone. There are many Shiksha Gurus, but Prabhupada is the Shiksha Guru for every person who is trying to come and join Hare Krishna movement. Because we read his books, we follow his teachings, and whatever standard he gave us for the deity worship, temple programs, we all follow. So Prabhupada is our all, for every followers of Iskcon, Prabhupada is the primary Shiksha Guru for everyone. So this will take place on the 6th Saturday evening, 6 to 8 p.m. But we are also trying to arrange Harinam Sanket at Little 5 Point. If the devotees come, then we'll go for Harinam at the Little 5 Point. But you can come here and we all get together. From here we'll go to Little 5 Point to do Kirtan. And then we'll be back here by 4 and we'll have more Kirtan. And then at 6 o'clock there will be Arati, and then there will be Prabhupada's Guru Puja, followed by Prabhupada lecture, and then there will be a little announcement, and then we'll have prasadam for everyone. So this is on the 6th April. Then on the 19th April is the Vyasa Puja ceremony of His Holiness Jayapataka Sai Maharaj. Jai Srimad Jayapataka Sai Maharaj ki. So in this day, our Guru Maharaj, Jayapataka Sai Maharaj, appeared in this world, and the disciples will celebrate his Vyasa Puja. So in the morning hours we'll invoke and we'll have Ghata Sthapana, we'll also have the picture ready and everything. And in the evening we'll have program. Actually we'll try to start the program from 5:30. I have the devotees come, because that day also there is an Adivas ceremony for Kirtan Mela. So program will go a little longer. So we'll at least have Guru Maharaj Pushpanjali, then there will be also disciple will be speaking, many disciples speaking, glorification. There will be also Arati for Guru Maharaj. So in this say, there will be approximately around 2 hours to 2.5 hours program for Guru Maharaj. So after that, we will have Adivas ceremony for Kirtan Mela. The program will go on until like 9 p.m. And then 20th and 21st, Kirtan will start from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. in the night. So there will be a Kirtan from morning 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. 20th and 21st. So you can pencil those days. It's a very special festival. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said that Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadava. Nadhanam Najanam Nasundarim Kavitamba Jagadish Shakhamaya Mama janmani janmanishwari bhavatat bhakti ahitukita. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he's teaching, in his prayers to Lord Krishna, he's teaching us that the holy name is the absolute. There is nothing beyond holy name in this age of Kali. Harinam is the most powerful. So that's why our Iskcon International Society for Krishna Consciousness is organizing many Kirtan festivals, Kirtan Melas throughout the world. We just had a big Kirtan Mela in Mayapur. And different temples are doing Kirtan Mela different time of the year. So it's a very nice arrangement. So all the congregation, devotees can come together and we chant holy name. You don't have to cook in your home. You just come here, do Kirtan, chant with us, dance with us and take prasad. And be happy. This is the program. Prabhupada gave us this program, beautiful program, chant, dance and take prasad and be happy. So this will be a nice program for 3 days actually. Actually Friday is the Adivas, but along with the Adivas, before the Adivas we'll have our Guru Maharaj's birthday celebration. And then because Ekadashi we cannot have feast, so we'll do a feast whether next Sunday or maybe next Sunday we'll do it for the feast of Guru Maharaj for everyone. So Kirtan, you know that to have a big festival, to accommodate such a big festival, we need help from the devotees. There are so many things required. We need devotees to cut up vegetables, clean the temple, somebody will cook. And then all these festivities, we have a lot of expenses also there. So it requires devotees to help this festival. So there are different services being assigned here. So if you want to contribute anything, you can come and see me or you can see Iskcon Prabhu. We have deity flower for 3 days for making nice beautiful garland for the deities. It's a $900, but there are 3 spots there. It's $300 each. If you want to sponsor some flowers for the deities for nice garland, you can do so. And then there is a breakfast prasadam on Friday. It's $501. If you want to give donation for that, you're welcome. Then Friday lunch is there for $1,001. Then Friday dinner is there for $1,001. And then on Saturday, breakfast is also another $501. Then Saturday lunch is $1,000. Saturday dinner is also $1,000. Then on Sunday, breakfast is there for same $501. Sunday lunch $1,001. Then Sunday dinner is $1,501 because we may get a lot of people. Sunday approximately we get almost like 300 to 400 people on Kirtan Mela days. So if you want to sponsor prasadam, if you want to feed all the Vaishnavas, this is a good opportunity, you can do so. And then we have Kirtaniya Seva. Now Lakshmana Prabhu is arranging many devotees to come and participate in Kirtan from many parts of the world. Many parts, some may come from Vrindavan, some may come from Alachua, some may come from New York, some may come from Brazil. Many devotees will come and participate in this Kirtan and they will lead Kirtan. So naturally we have some little expense for that. So it's called Kirtaniya Seva. So if you would like to do that, you are most welcome. This is $2,501. And then we need also sound and mic systems for $500. And others, you can also do any other seva if you like. You are most welcome to do that. So if you want to sign up any of this seva, you can come and see me or you can see Lakshmana Prabhu. Haribol. Or you can see Vedasar Prabhu.
Prabhuji, we also serving non-stop prasad. It's not like breakfast or dinner. We serving
So Lakshmana Prabhu is arranging, he's a beautiful organizer in serving prasadam. You go to any service program, 24 hours is prasadam service. So you'll make a very nice arrangement so everybody can have prasad. No one should leave without prasad.
So we start at 9 o'clock. We start at 9 o'clock until 9.
Okay, so we'll start prasadam at 9 a.m. and it will go until 9 p.m. It's a very nice seva, prasad seva.
No fasting.
And it is said that in the Padma Puran you find that if you serve prasadam or if you distribute food stuff to the Vaishnavas, to the devotees, you get so much seva, good result of those kind of activities. Like when you do like Griha Pravesh, or when you do Shraddha ceremony for your family, this says that you should feed 11 brahmanas. Sometimes it says you feed 30 brahmanas, like that. So on the special occasions like Kirtan or Ratha Yatra, so you feed Vaishnavas who comes for pilgrims, and you get so much benefit, so much spiritual benefit by serving prasad to others. It's a very nice activities. Generally we find in India they say it is a Daridra Narayan Seva, but it actually is not Daridra Narayan Seva, it is actually devotee Seva, Bhakta Seva. Because Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that without the service of the devotees, where can you get this Krishna Bhakti? Love of Krishna Bhakti comes only through serving the devotees. That's why Mahaprabhu said, Bhakta Uchishta, Bhakta Pada Raja, and Bhakta Bhukta Uchishta. These are very powerful to give you prema bhakti towards Krishna. If you take the remnants which is eaten by Krishna's pure devotee, it has got so much power, so much potency is there. So that's why sometimes we see the disciples, they try to, like when Prabhupada used to eat prasadam, and after Prabhupada would finish prasadam, devotees get line. They would sometimes fight each other to get that remnants from Prabhupada's plate. Because why? Because those are sincere souls, those are coming to Krishna. They know how important it is to take Mahaprasad, which is eaten by pure devotees. So if you serve pure devotees, or if you serve Vaishnavas through prasadam, or any other means, so much benefit is there, especially during the month of Kartik. That's what Rupa Goswami says in the Nectar Devotion. So these are a few programs that we're going to have. Any other announcements? Yes. 16th Tuesday is Ram Navami. From 6 p.m. we'll have program in the temple. There will be Abhishek. Yes, 6 o'clock there will be Abhishek. And also on the 6th and 7th, Saturday, this coming weekend, we'll have I think they're having a part program which is organized by the local people here. They have, I think, handicraft type things they produce. They have a display there. So there will be a lot of people coming. I know our temple president Vedasa Prabhu, he recently has organized a team called monthly Sankirtan team. So they are organizing a lot of book distribution throughout metro Atlanta cities, different cities. So if you really want, you can come that day and you can try to distribute some books here. We'll set up a table also. But if you want to participate, you are most welcome. But we may not have a table inside, but we do have a table in our property. So if you want to put some time, you are most welcome. That is on 6 and 7, on Saturday and Sunday. And then the last announcement we have is those who are monthly donor for Iskcon Atlanta, monthly members. We have a new Back to Garden magazines. You can come and pick it up on the table. It's all complimentary for you. But sometimes we also send you by mail. But if you're not receiving by mail, you can, if you're here, you can come and collect yourself. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Prasadam.
Yes, so prasadam will be served outside. Now you can all come and take the final darshan of the deities and take the blessings from the pujari. Hare Krishna.